I hope all of you are in complete health and everything is going well for you. And again, accept my warmest excuse for this delay. And so, please let me start the class. As you know, I had a trip to Iran, and so everything was confused for everything was mess for me, and now everything is okay. And I hope never to have such a delay. Okay. Um, the lessons related to this class. The lesson that we are to discuss in this class today is related to forecasting. Before starting, please let me ask you who want to speak about the meaning of the forecasting. Anybody knows about the meaning of the forecasting? If anybody knows, please let me know to let him to start class. Anybody wants to speak about the meaning of the forecasting? Anybody can hear me? Yes. As Mr. Ahmad Wilber told, the forecasting is the process of identifying expected future events. Yes, this is a good meaning and good explanation. Forecasting is very important for company, and operation manager in each company should care about that. And because by using the forecasting methods, um, operation manager, the managers in any company can make better decisions and can decrease the cost through this concept. Uh, as I will explain you later, you will find out that the forecasting is the process of the um, future events, and the companies wants to know, for example, how much demand uh, they will have in future, how much, for example, sale they will have, and or how much, um, how many items, how many, in terms of the quantity, how many, for example, resources they need in the future, and to can to prepare them for the production or for services. For example, when they want to make decisions, how they can produce the goods or the products, and how much raw material, how much or how many how many items in raw materials they need to produce these the goods or the or prepare services for customers, and they should know the concept of the forecasting. Uh, forecasting can be done through the some methods, and so in this class we want to be familiarized with these methods, and it's very easy lessons, and it's very easy and very interesting, as you will see in future. Please let me see the second slide. As you see, what is the forecasting? This is the process of the predicting a future event, and it can be done in some in all dimensions of the business, such as the production, inventory, personnel, and facility. When the company wants to make decisions in terms of the production, inventory, personnel, or staff, and at the end the facility, they need to do the forecasting, because by using forecasting they can arrange the programs for production or for offering services to customers. Through this, they can decrease considerably the cost for company, and they can avoid the extra the spending extra money for inventory, for purchasing extra inventory, or for spending extra money for something like this. This is the reason that the forecasting should be done in each company. Forecasting time horizon. Forecasting time horizons can be divided in three categories. The first category is the short-range forecast. If the company wants to forecast inventory, personnel, and everything like this for the future up to 1 year, generally it's less than 3 months, and they use the short-range forecasting. For example, they usually for short-range forecasting, some activities such as the purchasing, job scheduling, workforce level, job assignment, and production level can take place in this category. The second category is related to medium-range forecast. Medium-range forecast is from 3 months to 3 years. This range is can be put in category of the medium-range forecast. The activity in this range can be done through the sales and production planning and budgeting. This activity can be done in this category. And the last one is the long-range forecast. The long-range forecasting is if the company wants to forecast for the 2 years later, and so they use the long-range forecasting. The activity includes new product planning, facility location, research and development. They were the three categorization of the forecasting time horizons, and the manager should select the activity, and based of this activity, they can choose one of these time horizons: the short range, medium range, or long range. There are some types of the forecasting: the economic forecast, the technological forecast, and the demand forecast. In the economic forecast, they can the managers should predict some events such as the business cycle, inflation rate, money supply, housing start, and something that related to economical issue. For example, they should know what the inflation rate, for example, in the next month, in the next year, or the next quarter, and according this knowledge, they can make the decisions for their production or the services. And so all of the items in the economical issues that is one of the most important is related to inflation rate and the the money supply. Should be in the accurate way, should be done in accurate way in each company. And so the company, all of the managers in any company must consider this. In the technological forecast, they should forecast what is the rate of the technological progress, and also because it impacts the development of the new product. For example, they should know how much is the rate of technological progress in the future. For example, if the technological progress rate is very high in the future, they should they should add program for this, and so they should purchase the new technological for the new products, because as you know, the new technology can impact the new product, and it can increase the the performance and efficiency of the company. So this is the reason that the managers must forecast the technology in the future. The demand forecast is related to predict sales of the existing products and services. For example, if any company wants to start to produce the product or the special product or goods, they must know how much or how many demand is available for their product in the next month, or the 2 months later, 3 months later. And this is the it depends on the manager's decisions. For example, if they want to arrange program for the next semester, next quarter, next season, or next year, they should predict the sales or the sales of the existing products according to their programs for the next their next program. The demand for forecast is also is very important, because as I told you, it can decrease the cost for company, because when they know, for example, the approximately how many demand they will have in the future, they can arrange the program for the producing the product according to this forecasting, and not producing the extra production of goods, that because it can increase the cost for company. So there are 7 steps in forecasting. So each of the managers wants to do this forecasting, they should consider these 7 steps. The first step is determine the use of the forecast. The second one, the first one is determine the use of the forecast, because they should make sure themselves that they need to use the forecasting. After they feel they need to use the forecasting, the second step is to select the items to be forecasted. For example, if the demand is the inventory, personnel, facility, or something like this. The third step is determine the time horizon of the forecast. For example, they want to forecast for 3 months later, 5 months later, next year, next 2 years, and something like this. The fourth one is to select the forecasting models. The forecasting models I will explain for you in the next slide. And after that, they should gather the data, make the sixth step is to make the forecast, and the seventh one is to validate and implement the results. For example, one of the most important activity in the forecasting is related to gathering data and analyzing. Because through the gathering data, they can they can do better forecasting, and after that, after they analyzing the results, they can make decisions, and they can determine they can determine the proper strategy, or they they can do better steps for company. Which kind of data is there? For example, the data can be related to the economical data. For example, the inflation rate. They can relate it to income level of the people. They can relate it to customer, also the historical sale. The historical, for example, historical cost, and that something like this. According to this, the historical sales, for example, can be a good data. For example, they can see the historical sales. For example, the last month, how many items they sold. Then 2 months later, 3 months later, and 5 months ago, 3 months ago, and also, for example, last year. Through the historical data, they can forecast through the historical data, and through this analyzing the data, they can implement results and make forecasts for future. Yes, the data collection depends on the type of the forecasting and also the time horizon. It depends on you. For example, it depends on you in which time horizon the manager wants to make decisions or forecasts. Qualitative methods and quantitative methods are two approaches of the forecasting. For example, if the forecasting want to be done by managers, there are two methods that are related to forecasting: the qualitative methods and the quantitative methods. Qualitative methods is not very important as much as the quantitative methods. In this lessons, we consider the quantitative methods. What is the qualitative methods? As you see, it's related to a situation that is vague, and it's not clear and vague, and little data exists. When the little data exists, for example, the new product and new technology, the qualitative method should be done. The qualitative method is not as same as quantitative method, because in quantitative methods is related to mathematical formulation and something like this. But to qualitative, they can make a report about the new technology, and they can make report about the new product, and make decisions based on this report. And also, this involves the intuition and experience. It's very related to intuition. As you know, the intuition is for example, is the feelings that the operation managers the feelings that come in mind of the operation managers, the feelings that come in operation manager's mind according to their experience. For example, the operation managers or the managers, based on their experience, can feel what the situation may come out in the future. Forecasting sales on internet, for example, is one of the qualitative methods. For example, when they want to forecast sale on the internet, in the electronic shopping, they can do the qualitative methods they can use the qualitative methods to do forecasting for future. But the quantitative method is very important in any company, because the quantitative method, as you see, It used when a situation is stable and historical data exists. When the historical data exists and the situation is very stable, in, for example, in advanced country, in the developed country, uh, the managers can use the quantitative methods to do forecasting in the future. They use for the existing product and the current technology. They don't, for example, the new technology and the new product is not don't involve in this situation. And they are related to qualitative methods. In the quantitative methods, because the historical data is available, they can use them and do forecasting. And also, as I told you, it involves the mathematical techniques. For example, the forecasting sales forecasting sales of the color television. For example, the company is has been producing the color television for 6 months. During these 6 months, they sold the many color televisions, and they have recorded the quantity of the sales in each month. When they want to forecast for the 7th month, they can use the historical data of these 6 months and do forecasting for the 7th month, and or also for 8th month and the up. So in this lesson, we want to focus on the quantitative method and be familiarized with the mathematical techniques in relation to forecasting. Moving average method. Moving average method is one of the quantitative methods that is related to forecasting. It's very easy. It's very, very easy, and very approximately it's valid, and for the manager to do that, you know. Moving average, or MA, is a series of the arithmetic means. Arithmetic means is the average of the data in each month. By giving an example to you, it can be clarified for you in the future. Use if little or no trend. When there is no trend or little trend, we can use the moving average, and also this method can be used often for smoothing. They provide overall impression of data over time. This this point should be considered by any managers, because this is, as I told, because the managers must know in which situation they should use the method. For example, as I told you, for moving average, they can be used when there is no trend for the data, and also they can be used for smoothing that provides overall impression of data over time. The formulation for moving average is sigma demand in the provision and periods divided by n. N periods means that, for example, the when you have the data for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, each of these can be a period for you. For example, if you have the data, historical data for 6 months, the the n equals 6. When you have the data for 7 months, the n equals 7. Or when you have the data for 3 years, 5 years, 3 seasons, 3 quarters, it depends on your forecasting or your data. For example, let's give me an example to you for the moving average for forecasting. Okay. For example, a manufacturing company has sold his production, its production in the January, for example, 10 kilograms, or 10 tons, or 10 items. You know, it depends on. In the February, the actual check sales were the 12, the March 13, April 16, May 19, June 23, or July 26. So the company has the data because their sales in this month, during this month, was clear. Imagine they want to forecast the sales, the shed sales for the month after July. For example, August. You know, August is the month after July. If they want to forecast for how much sales they are, for how many kilograms, how many tons, or how many items, this is the example. You know, for August they can use this historical data because this data is the actual, and this is not forecasted. This is actual because now the July has finished and the August wants to start. They want to use the moving average, for example, to forecast for the next month. If you see the next stage, imagine the January, February, March has finished, and they want to forecast for the April. They can use the 3 months before April, January, February, March. It's enough. They sum the data and divide it by the period. Because they want to use the 3 months, the n is equals 3 because they want to use 3 months. Okay, they sum the data before April, March, February, January, and divided by 3, it's equal to 11 to 2/3. You know. For example, if they want to use forecast for the May, they should use the April, March, February. If they want to use the forecasting for June, they should use the 3 months before that. If they want to use the forecast for July, they should use 3 months or 5 months. They can use the how many months before the month that you want to forecast. But the normal or standard is the 3 months and 5 months. For example, the company usually use the 3 months or 5 months for the moving average. This is the normal, you know, this is the usual. This is the standard. But, because all of the company use the 3 months or 5 months before the months that want to be forecasted. Because they have because according to experience, they have found out the 3 months or 5 months is better. It's more accurate, you know, because they have found, according to their experience, 3 months or 5 months has become better than the month. But you use the but you can use the as much as the number of the months that you want. You know, for example, the 10 months is also okay. 11 months, the 1 year, and also the 12 months is okay. But 3 months and the 5 months is more custom among the company. And if you see the books, and all of the books use the 3 months moving average and 5 months moving average, because it has been the more customs between among the manufacturing. For example, if you want to forecast for April, you should use 3 months before April or 5 months. You know, it depends on the number of the months that you want to use. You can use the 5 months and the 3 months, and also you can use the 5 months before the months that you want to forecast. For example, in this example, I want to give you 2 minutes. 1 minute, okay. I can give you 1 minute time to forecast the August, okay. With 3 months, okay. With 3 months, please forecast the actual shed sales for the August. Please do this as an exercise now, okay. Forecast the actual shed sales for August with 3 months. If everybody has finished, please let me know to explain about that. Please write down the answer, the result in the chat frame. Very good. Exactly. As Mr. Ahmad Zubair has written, it's nearly 23. It's about 23, exactly. This is very important for companies that because they have two numbers, okay, actual number, the forecasted number. For example, the company has forecasted for the April, as you see in the April, please see the April in this example. April, the actual check sale is 16, but the company forecast the 11 is about 12. Okay, we can get it 12. There is error here because the company forecast about 12 check sales for the month of the April, but when the April finished, they will see they saw the real number was 16. The actual check sale was 16. They found that there is error here. If you can close the forecasted number and the real number together, and the error decrease, is very good for company because they can make the better decision. But when the error is very high, it's very bad. The company should decrease the error by use of the better approach. For example, in the moving average is the good approach only for for example, the shop stores that wants to make, because they want to do the small forecasting for the next month, for the 2 months, and they want to guess how much demand or how much sale they will have in the next month. They can use the moving average for 3 months or the 5 months. This is very, as you see, this is very easy, and this is but a very useful method for the practice of the forecasting in each company. So as you see, as I told you, for the forecasting and the moving average, it's enough. It's enough the sum of the 3 months or 5 months, 3 years or 5 years, 3 quarter or 5 quarters before the month that wants to be forecasted, or we want to forecast. For example, in the August, as your friend Mr. Ahmad Zubair wrote, it's enough to sum of the 23, the July, June, and May together and divide it by 3. It can make the forecast for the next month or August here. Yeah. After doing forecasting, it's better to for better understanding, it's better to draw a graph. The graph of moving average for the last example is like this, as you see in the in your screen. The actual sale is the yellow line, and the moving average forecast is the blue line. There is a gap between this forecasting method and the actual sale. The gap is the error. If you see the gap between these for each month, you can see the error between them. The error can be calculated as the actual minus the moving average. Actual minus the moving average forecast give you the error that has been made by using this approach. Trend projections. Okay. Sometimes the company wants to forecast for long time, and through the historical data, they can find out there is a trend among this data. When they see the trend among the data, for example, the linear trend, they can forecast by use of the formula exactly by the linear equation. As you know, the linear equation, as you have studied in the mathematics, it's the high school mathematics, the linear equation is y equal a plus p multiple x. As you know, the y is the computed value of the variable to be predicted, the dependent variable. The y is dependent variable, or the value of the variable wants to be predicted. A is the y-axis intercept, B a slope of the regression line, and x is the independent variable. The independent variable can be months or year or quarter, season. For example, the 2 months later, 3 months later, 2 next year, 2 years later, 10 years later, 25 years later. This is the independent variable. The dependent variable, or y, is the value that you want to calculate for forecasting. For example, the sale, inflation rate. For example, the demand. They can be the dependent variable, or y. By use of the linear equation, if the linear equation here can be used when the manager in company find out there is a trend in historical data. When they see there is a trend, for example, they are increasing, or the sale is increasing linear behavior, okay, or the demand is decreasing as a linear behavior. They can use this formula, or linear regression or linear formula, for their forecasting in the next month or next year, and something like this. Here is very important that we calculate A and B. A and B are two fixed value to fixed fixed value for this equation. A and B are fixed and stable, as you know, and constant number. The B can be calculated like this formula that you see. B equals sigma xy minus n x bar by bar divided by sigma x in the square 2 minus n x bar in power of 2. And A can equal y bar minus b x bar. Y bar, x bar, and what are they? What they are. And in the next section, by using the example, I can explain for you that what are the y bar and x bar, and how you can use this formula. Okay. For example, a company use the year and wants to use the trends, the least square trends for example, the next year or the next season, something like this. This example is related to electrical power demand. For example, in 2001, the electrical power demand was the 74 kilowatt, for example, or 74,000 kilowatt for the company. The 2002, the 79, the 2003, the electrical power demand was 80. 2004 was 90. 2005 was 105. 2005 142, and 2007 is 122. The company was to forecast the electrical power demand for the 2008, 2010, 2020, and the 100 or 50 years later. They can use the formula and they can use this trend. And they have found that in the electrical power demand there is an increasing demand, because the demand is increasing, and so the nearly is increasing, not very accurate. The nearly is decreasing, and only in the 2007 it has decreased. So because generally there is an increasing in this trend, they can use the trend or least square trend for the forecasting. The time period is X and the electrical power demand is Y. Because electrical power demand is dependent variable, the time period is the independent variable, or X. The 2001 is 1, 2002 is 2, 2003 is T. The time period is and the number that can be allocated to the year. For example, for the year 2001, we should allocate a number 1 to this. For number 2, for year 2002, we allocate number 2 to that. Until 2007, that we can allocate number 7 to 2000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in time period x. Sigma x equals 28, because if you sum up the 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, the result is 28. The x bar means the 28 divided by 7 is 4, as you see. The electrical power difference is the dependent variable here, and as you see, if we sum up the electrical power demand for the 7 year, we can reach the number of the sigma y is the 692,000 kilowatts for the electrical power demand. The y bar equal the sigma y divided by 7. The 692 divided by 7 is 9886. X in power of 2, as you see, the x is clear here. Yes, the x is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 1 in power of 2 is 1. The 2 in power of 2 is 4. 3 in power of 2 is 9. 4 in power of 2 is 16. 5 is 25. 6 is 36, and 7 is 49. If we sum up the 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and 49, we will arrive at the 140. If we sum up this column, x in power of 2, xy is x multiplied y means the 1 multiplied 74 is 74. 4 multiplied 79 produce 158. 9 and multiply 80 is 240. 4 multiply 90 is 660. This is the xy is the product of the x multiply y. Okay, x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and y is 74, 79, 80, 90. Y is the electrical power demand, and x is time period. If each number in the time period multiply each number in the electrical power demand, it produces the xy, as you see. And through this, we can calculate the sigma xy. The sigma xy is clear. Sigma x in power of 2 is clear. Sigma y bar, sigma x bar. All of them have become clear. Now we can calculate the b and a for the equation, linear equation. As you see, the b equal to sigma xy minus n x bar y bar divided by sigma x in power of 2 minus n x bar in power of 2. All of these items in this formula for b and a has been calculated. For example, sigma xy is the 3063, x bar is 4, y bar is the 98.86, and sigma x in power 2 has been calculated, and also n is equal 7. B and a can be calculated through this formula. It's very, very easy, and this is the same for all of the forecasting for all of the examples. X bar equal 4 because sigma x divided x bar and y bar can be calculated like this. Sigma x divided by 7 because there are 7 time periods. Yes, we have the 7th year here, 2001 until 2007 is the 7. The sigma x divided by 7 is equal to 4. Sigma y divided by 7 give you y bar. This is the formula for x bar and y bar. X bar equals sigma x divided by n. Okay, a and b can be calculated very easily here. Now we can A is, as you see, please let me explain you. Okay. The trend line or the equation line can be calculated like this. The y equals 56.70 plus 10.74 is. The A is the slope of this line. What's the meaning of the slope of the line in the mathematics? It means that if the x or the year, okay, here, increase 1 year, 1 unit, the dependent variable or electrical power demand can be increased 10.54 because this is the slope. But the y, the b, as you see here, the A is y-axis intercept and the B is the slope of the regression line. The slope of the regression line is the slope of the line in the mathematics. You know, the mathematics means that if the independent variable increase 1 unit, the dependent variable means increase or decrease. It depends on the sign of the slope. If the sign of the slope is positive, it means that it increases as much as the slope of the regression line. If the slope of the regression line is the negative, it means that if the independent variable increase 1 unit, the dependent variable decrease in reverse of the increase. Okay, decrease as much as the slope of the line. The 56.7 alone has not meaning, you know. For example, the line has been cleared, yes, has been calculated, yes. For example, if you want to calculate the 2010, the 2010 is 3 years after 2007. If you want to calculate the electrical power demand for 2010, 2010 means x should be 3. You should put or allocate 3 in x, and the y can be calculated very easy because because the 2010 is the 3 years after 2007. If you want to calculate 2009, it's enough that put the 2 in part of x and you can calculate the y for it. If you want to demand for the 2015, 2015 is 8 years after 2007. It's enough to allocate 8 to x and calculate the y very easily. Do you understand? We have calculated a linear equation here, very easy. Okay, because we should calculate a and b for this equation. The a and b can be calculated through the formula. I told you the formula. Okay, you can, when you calculate the a and b, you can write, you can calculate the linear equation or linear regression very easy. Because there is a current here, and when there is a current, you can calculate the linear equation for the forecasting. When the linear equation is calculated easily, it's enough for forecasting the next year. Forecasting the next year, for example, 2 years later, 3 years later, 10 years later, 25 years later, it's enough. You can replace the x by the month that you want to replace. For example, we know the electrical power demand for 2007 here. You know, for 2001, 2002, 2003, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is clear here. When you calculate this trend, when you calculate the trend or the equation, It's very easy. You can forecast for 2008, 2010, 2012. If you want to calculate the 2010, the 2010 is 3 years after 2007 because we know the 2007 and we can calculate the trend line. We know what is the trend in this data. So this is very easy. We can to calculate the 2010. 2010 is 3 years after 2007. Yes. So if we want to forecast 2010, it's enough in this formula y equal 56.7 plus 10.54 multiplied by x. It's enough. We put 3 instead of x in this equation. We can calculate the y or the electrical power demand for 2010. For 2012, 2012 is 5 years after 2007. Yes. So it's enough. We put the 5 instead of x here and calculate the electrical power demand for the 2012. Okay. If you see the two line here, um, the blue line is the actual demand, and so the one to 2001 and 2007, and the another line is as you see is the real line. It's the real line that is drawn by the linear equation, because this is the equation of the line, you know, in the mathematical. As you see, all of you have studied in the higher school the equation of line or a linear equation. If we draw the trend line here, you can see it's very near to actual trend is the 2001 or 2007, and the error is very little between the actual and between the linear trend that we calculated. So we can use the trend line to calculate or forecast for the next years when there is a trend in this equation. Okay. As I told you, the forecasting was very easy and was very easy lessons today, and so the all lesson has finished today. But I want to do exercise now, please, and I want to give you 5 minutes or 6 minutes to solve this exercise now and tell me the result. Okay, please wait 1 minute to give you the exercise now. Okay, this is the first exercise. By use of the moving average method, please forecast the year 2005. 3 months or 5 months to both of them. Okay, it's very easy. Forecast demand for 2005 by using moving average. 3 months and 5 months to both of them. And dear friend, please do all of you, okay? Unfortunately, only Mr. Ahmad Zubair has done and Mr. Barak. Please do all of you, okay? I'm waiting for all of you. Please give me the result. This is very easy. It's very easy exercise. It's very easy. For 3 months, it's enough. You want to calculate for 2005. Okay, for 2005, you should consider 3 years before 2005. 2002, 2003, and 2004. Sum up divided by 3. If you want to calculate based of the 5 months, 5 years, according to 5 years, you should sum up the 5 years before 2005. 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. You can sum up and divide by 5. It's very easy. Please do that now and give me the result. I'm waiting for you. Okay. Please let me explain again for you. If you want to use the moving average is one of the methods that can be used for forecasting. Okay. For example, you want to forecast a demand, personnel, everything for the next year, 2 years later, 3 years later, 10 years later. You can use the moving average. In the moving average, there is no trend. It's enough if you want to if you want to use 3 or 5 in the moving average. It's enough that for every year or for every month that you want to do forecasting, it's enough that you sum up the 3 months before that month, 3 years before that year. Okay. For example, here is year. I gave you year. Okay. Year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I asked you to calculate or forecasting demand for 2005. When you want to calculate 2005, it's enough to sum up the 2002 plus 2003 plus 2004 divided by 3. You can forecast the demand for 2005. 2004, the demand is the 4,521. In 2003, the demand was 2,300. In 2002, the demand was 3,240. When we want to use the tree moving average, it's enough the sum of this tree number divided by 3. When you do this, the result is 3,354. Mr. Ahmed Zubair calculated in the correct way. When you want to use the for 5 years, it's enough you use the 5 years before 2005, sum up the demand and divide it by 5. For example, when you want to forecast 2005, it's enough to sum up the number 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, sum of this number and divide it by 5. The result is 3,549. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Zubair. It's very good, very good. It's very, very easy. I need to be confused or everything like this. Okay? Very, very easy. Okay. I wrote to the result. Okay, you can check your result with the real result. I told you for 3 years it is 3354, and for 5 years it is 3549. And dear friends, be careful. Be careful. You must not sum up the year 2000 plus 2001, 2002. You must sum up the demand, not year. For example, for 2005, if you want to use, you must use the 3 years before 2005. $4,521 plus 2,300 plus 3,240. You must sum up the demand, not sum up the year divided by 3. Because you want to forecast the demand, not forecast the year. You have the historical data for the year of 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and 2004. Now, company wants to forecast by using this data, forecast how much will be demand for 2005 by using moving average. By use of the 3 moving average or 5 moving average. Both of them are correct. Okay, you must sum up the 3 years or 5 years before the years or months that you want to calculate or calculate forecasting for demand. You must sum up the demand 3 months before that year. For example, if you want to calculate for the year 2005, it's enough to calculate 2004 plus 2003 plus 2002. The demand for this, not the year. The demand for these years. Okay. I emphasize again. The exercise number 2, because some of the students have confused themselves, please let me give you the exercise number 2. Okay. You see the exercise number 2. By use of the square list method, or another name is the linear trend. Please calculate Yes, please calculate the linear equation A and B. Okay. Calculate A, B, and linear equation y equal A plus B multiply x. You can see the slide. You can see a slide in the lessons. Please calculate A, B, and linear equation for me, okay? You have 5 minutes time. You can use the slide, okay? You can use the slide and see the formula, and you can use the example in the slide. If you see the example and if you see the formula, you can solve it very easy. Please write down. Please write down in the piece of paper. Okay. Please write down this exercise in the piece of paper. You can solve it. You can think more about this exercise and solve it. You can solve it at your home and send to me email the result of this exercise. Okay. Please write down this exercise. Please write down in the piece of paper now. Okay. Um, Please write down this exercise now in the piece of paper. I send you the slides. Okay, I send you the slides. You can think at your home about this exercise and solve it. And if you like, you can send to me email. Other than we can discuss about this exercise the next week. Okay, please write down the exercise in the piece of paper now. I will send you the slides, the forecasting slides, to see the examples, and also you can use your book, your PDF books, to see the formula. And it's better you think about this exercise more at your home and send me email. And also, if you like, we can discuss about it the next week. It's up to you. Okay. Our class has finished today, and again I should say sorry about the delay in the and I promise never to happen. If you have any question, you can send to me email. No, you should find the A and B, two constant number, not y and x. Y and x the dependent variable on their variable. You should calculate A and B, and then calculate the linear equation y equal A plus B multiply x. Please write down this exercise. Okay, everybody has done this. Okay. Thank you so much for participating in the class, and again, I'm so sorry for delay, and I hope everything's going well for you. Please write down this exercise and solve it at your home. Think, and you can use the slide and your book, PDF. And if you solve the problem, please send me back, send me email and attach your board. Okay, sure. If there is no question, have a nice time, and goodbye everybody. If there is an end, okay, goodbye everybody, and good night.
چی؟ چی؟ چی گفت؟ ها؟ چی؟ کاکا میخواد جیگر میخواد کاکا راه میخواد